وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ, when it's said to them, تَعَالَوْا, come on. يَسْتَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ, come on, the messenger will make istighfar for you. Just come back. Get your act together. You know, Abdullah bin Ubay, the leader of the hypocrites, la'anahullah, when he walked away with his gang of 300 at Uhud, obviously everybody knew who walked off the battlefield. It wasn't a secret, the behavior is really obvious, but still nobody pointed at him and called him a munafiq. We didn't do that. So the next Friday, the ayat are revealed about the incident, about Uhud. And these ayat are really critical about the hypocrites. He was in the front row. Jumu'ah is crowded. He was in the front row. And the front row is the hardest row to leave. As the ayat started coming down, he got so angry, he got up and walked out of the khutbah. He was walking out of Jumu'ah. And people were walking in and like, where are you going? He's like, psh, yeah, like, get out of my way. I'm heading out. I don't need to take this. He took it as the ayat about hypocrisy, he took them as a personal insult. Amazing. And now the same people are being told, it's okay, come on back. And that seems unforgivable. Come on back, the messenger will ask forgiveness for you. Lawwa ru'usahum. Lawwa, they say to turn, he's going to ask forgiveness for me. Like I need him asking for forgiveness. I need his apology, I need to apologize to him. So they turn their head in arrogance. وَرَأَيْتَهُمْ يَصُدُّونَ. And you'll see them stopping. No, come on. Like, no, I don't want to come. They pull their hand back. يَصُدُّونَ. To stop oneself also means to stop others. وَهُمْ مُسْتَكْبِرُونَ. And they are deeply arrogant. And this is, by the way, really heavy because وَهُمْ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ فعل وَهُمْ مُسْتَكْبِرُونَ اسم ثابت به دوام لا يتغير. They are totally arrogant and permanently arrogant. He's stuck in this state. وَهُمْ مُسْتَكْبِرُونَ. سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ. It will be the same fate for them. أَسْتَغْفَرْتَ لَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تَسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ. Whether you asked Allah to forgive them, if you asked forgiveness for them, or you never asked forgiveness for them, it wouldn't have made any difference. لَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ. Allah is not going to forgive them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. No doubt Allah is not going to guide the corrupt nation. هُمُ الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ. They're the ones that say, لَا تُنْفِقُوا عَلَى مَنْ عِنْدَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ حَتَّى يَنْفَضُّوا. Don't spend a dime on those people that are hanging around the Messenger of Allah and continue to bankrupt them until they disperse and never come back. حَتَّى يَنْفَضُّوا. Talking about the Muhajirun. Abdullah bin Ubay said, look, these people have come from Makkah. These immigrants. They have they've taken our jobs. They're holding our household incomes down. They've caused a problem. And these people are, they're an economic disaster for us. The only way we're going to get rid of this problem is stop spending on them. Stop helping them in any way, shape, or form until they disappear. We have already read, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. You remember these ayat? They give preference to others over themselves, even if they're hungry themselves. They're like starving and they're giving the other. That was about the Muhajirun, remember? The Ansar? And how they ate the Muhajirun? The hypocrites have the exact opposite attitude now. They say, hey, don't spend a nickel on them. Don't spend a dime. Nothing. لا تنفقوا على من عند رسول الله حتى ينفضوا. This surah also has to do with a fight that broke out among some Muhajirun and some Ansar. The Muhajirun and some Ansar, there was a fight that broke out. And unfortunately, Shaitan got the best of some people and they started calling each other names. And this tribalism came out. Makkah versus Medina. What'd you say about Makkah? What'd you say about us? What'd you say about us? And this beef broke out in the middle of some Muslims, and the hypocrites took advantage of that. They jumped in, they instigated it further. Abdullah ibn Ubay and Munafiqoon called the Meccans the dogs of Medina, stray dogs that got here. Insults. They live off of our leftovers. Insults. So this was building a real aggression. You know what that teaches us, by the way? Doesn't matter how strong your iman is. Doesn't matter how strong your iman is. Stereotypes and, gang mentality and nationalism and tribalism can come back at any second. They can just come right back. It's a part of our identity. It's a good part of our identity, but it can turn lethal at any moment. You can't get rid of it. I'm always going to be Pakistani. I can't. It's just not going to change. My parents are Pakistani. It's going to be there. I'm going to try my best not to be, so nationalistic that I hate other nations or think less of them, because almost in some parts of Pakistan, you are not really Pakistani until you insult Bangladeshis. You're not really Punjabi until you make fun of Urdu-speaking people. So your sense of identity only gets validated once you put another down. Racism, tribalism, this is where it comes from. Sick forms of nationalism. But at some level, loving your city is embedded. The Prophet loved Makkah. He loved it. It's not something wrong. It's not wrong to love the place you're from, the people you're from. The Ansar took pride in being Ansar. They wrote poetry about the Ansar. They said, we're the Ansar. We're awesome. And not at the individual, not Ansari didn't walk around saying, I'm an Ansari, I'm awesome. But as a people, it's fine to take pride in who you are. There's nothing wrong with it. But watch it. Watch it, because a given moment and that healthy sentiment can turn into something lethal. It can turn into bias against another. Aggression against another. Very easily. It takes very, very little. It takes extremely little. One of the ways by which these things are excited in people nowadays is sports. Right? I think Pakistan and India were in the World Cup this year, were they, in cricket? In the final? They were all the Indian brothers in the masjid were distributing laddus and Dunkin' Donuts. And they won the World Cup. The Pakistani guys were like, that's okay, it's just sport. But when it gets out of hand, and people run into the stadium beating each other up, I was like, take it easy. But even the Sahaba weren't free from this. It took work. In a culture where tribe is everything for thousands of years, you're nothing without your tribe. You're nothing without it. And your tribe is being insulted? Yeah, I've been Muslim for a while, but come on, you can't be insulting my people like that. It came back, and the Prophet ﷺ was extremely upset. He was extremely upset. Like, you're going back to Jahiliyyah after Islam? Very harsh. Now, they made this claim. Don't spend on the Muslims and don't spend on these muhajirun until they run back. وَلِلَّهِ خَزَائِنُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And Allah alone owns the treasure vaults and the treasures of the skies and the earth. You think you're spending on them? You're spending what I gave you. You're doing anybody a favor? You yourself are favored. وَلَكِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ. However, the hypocrites won't understand.